Phil Foden and then De Bruyne with a cross and a great chance and City in front already. Jack Grealish outside to Grealish, Grealish into the area and City scores. Manchester City in front. And
Jack Grealish to Everton. Here we go.
His form has absolutely fallen off a cliff. You look at those stats and they're pretty embarrassing, aren't they, for a £100 million player?
A £100 million fairy tale isn't supposed to end with a loan move. Yet here we are. Jack Grealish went from the face of English flair to a passenger in a team that wins everything, then out the door to Everton. How does a treble winner lose the sparkle that made defenders panic and fans swear they were watching the next superstar? Was it the system that tamed him, the spotlight that burned him, or choices that finally caught up? Now we rewind the rise, unpack the noise, and trace the moment the magic slipped. Because if Grealish is finished, it's a cautionary tale. And if he isn't, the league isn't ready for what comes next. Before the price tag and headlines, Jack Grealish was a kid from Aston Villa's academy who loved the ball at his feet. His dad drove him to games, he wanted minutes, so he chased them. Villa sent him on loan to Notts County to learn real, physical football. It was rough. He got kicked a lot. He got up every time. 40 games later, with goals, assists, and a key role in keeping them up, he came back stronger. Not just a dribbler, more mature, more responsible. Back at Villa, chances came fast. He impressed in the FA Cup against Liverpool and helped send Villa to Wembley. The final was a loss, but fans saw it. Give him the ball, and something happens. Even when Villa were relegated, his quality stood out. Then came leadership. In 2018-19, he got the captain's armband. Villa went on a 10-game winning run. In the derby at Birmingham, a fan ran on and hit him. Grealish stayed calm and scored the winner. Villa won the playoffs and returned to the Premier League. He wasn't just a local talent anymore, he was the main man. Defenders doubled up, he drew fouls, carried the ball, and set the tempo. Villa leaned on him. England took notice, the rise felt unstoppable. But the higher he climbed, the louder the noise around him became. And not all of it was about football. The talent was obvious, the headlines were too. Early on, photos came out of Grealish at parties. There were stories about late nights and bad choices. Coaches told him to cut it out. Fans argued, superstar in the making or a risk. In 2015, after a heavy loss, he stayed out instead of going home. The new manager wasn't impressed. He sent Grealish to train with the under-21s, message sent, grow up or sit out. More noise followed in 2016. Reports of a hotel party, a public warning from the club to focus, then a 3-match ban for a stamp in a heated game. The label stuck. Brilliant on the ball, unpredictable off it. Then came something scarier than bad press. Preseason 2017, a challenge left him with a ruptured kidney. Hospital, surgery, months out. He said later it was the worst injury of his life. It changed how people talked about him, less gossip, more concern. Through it all, the pattern was clear. When he was locked in, he carried teams. When he drifted, the noise drowned the football. And that's the question that followed him into the biggest move of his career. If you spend £100 million on a Maverick, do you get magic or mayhem? Manchester City paid a record fee and gave him Aguero's number, 10. Expectations went sky high overnight. Some fans were excited. Others asked the hard question, can a free spirit fit into Pep's strict system? The difference hit fast. At Villa, he roamed, demanded the ball, took risks. At City, he had to stay wide, be patient, and trust the machine. Less freestyle, more discipline. The first season felt flat. A few bright moments, early goals against Norwich and in Europe, but not the numbers people expected from a £100 million star. Critics talked. Was he worth it? Did the system shrink him? Then came the noise. He and a teammate were left out after being seen on a night out. The focus question returned. Talent wasn't the issue, standards were. Pep asked to judge him by more than goals. Spacing, ball security, drawing defenders, helping the press. Important work, but hard to sell to a public that counts goals and assists. By the end of year one, the debate was loud. Did City buy the highlight reel Maverick and turn him into a safe player? But the story didn't end there. Season 2 at City, everything clicked. Grealish stopped trying to be the hero every touch and started doing the clever work that wins games. He held the width, carried the ball, drew 2 defenders, and gave De Bruyne and Haaland room to punish teams. It wasn't flashy every week, but it was brutal for opponents. Big nights proved it. He scored in the derby. He scored at Arsenal when the title race was tight. In Europe, he kept the ball, beat his man, and kept creating chances. Against Real Madrid in the second leg, his control on that left side helped City suffocate a giant. By June, the medal said it all. League, FA Cup, Champions League, a clean sweep. Fans saw the party clips and the jokes, but the football story was simple. Pep trusted him to control tempo, win fouls high up, and turn chaos into calm. That version of Grealish made City harder to beat and easier to love if you watched beyond goals and assists. For a moment, it looked like the perfect marriage. A maverick who learned discipline, a system that let him show personality without breaking shape. Peak Grealish, peak City. After the treble, the drop was real. The spark faded. Goals dried up. Assists too. He went long stretches without scoring, and the fear factor defenders once felt wasn't there. Injuries broke his rhythm. Training intensity was questioned. Pep trusted players who were sharper. Savinho got minutes, so did others. Grealish started less, came on late, and sometimes didn't play at all. The role that once looked perfect, control the left side, draw fouls, slow the game when needed, now looks safe without the punch. City's machine demands output and edge. He had control. He didn't have enough end product. Publicly, Pep kept it simple. Form and fitness picked the team. Privately, the message was the same. Come back fitter, play faster, be decisive. When he returned from a short break below standard, he was left out completely. That stung. Then came the national team hit. No Euro 2024 spot. For a player once seen as England's X factor, that was a loud warning. Reputation means nothing if your level drops. Confidence dipped. Minutes dipped. The noise grew. People said the system made him robotic. Others said the problem wasn't tactics, it was intensity. Either way, the slide was clear, and it wasn't just football getting in the way. Life off the pitch was changing fast. There was a break-in at his home, scary, distracting, and the kind of thing that makes you think about more than football. Injuries kept stopping his rhythm. A calf here, a knock there. Every time he looked ready to push on, something pulled him back. He became a father. A beautiful change, but routines shift. Sleep, focus, energy, it all gets tested. The spotlight never dimmed. Clips, memes, headlines. Every night out became a talking point. Every quiet game became a "what's wrong" thread. Pep's standards stayed the same. No passengers. At Villa, he could play on instinct and carry the team. At City, you earn your place every day. Training, intensity, decisions. If you're 1% off, someone else is 100% ready. Confidence took hits. Minutes did too. The national team call didn't come. For a player once billed as England's spark, that was a loud message. None of this makes him less talented. It shows how thin the line is at the top. You can't control the headlines, you can control habits. And that's the fight he had to win before anything else. Which brings us to the next chapter. New colors, new expectations, and a last big chance to reset everything. Everton is a fresh start, not a step down. They already defend well. What they've lacked is a spark. Grealish walks in as the player meant to light the game when it's flat, to turn a stuck attack into a chance in 3 touches. He'll drift off the left or slide into the number 10 pocket, receive on the half turn, and run at the space most players don't dare touch. The brief is simple: less safe, more punch, quicker decisions, sharper final balls, shots when the crowd begs for one more pass. This isn't about showreels, it's about changing the scoreline. Everything around him will feel different. The pace of the press, the noise at Goodison when he draws 2 defenders and slips someone through. The responsibility when a free kick sits just right. At City, he was a cog. Here, he's the reference point. When Everton chase a goal, the ball will find him, and he won't be able to hide behind structure. It's a gamble for the club and a test for the player. If the fitness is right and the edge returns, the numbers follow and the narrative flips. Crowd on his side, England talk back on the table. If it doesn't, the questions harden. Was the peak a moment or the standard? The door is open. The cameras are waiting. Whether this becomes a comeback or a cautionary tale depends on what he does next with the ball at his feet. Jack Grealish's story isn't a straight line. It's talent, noise, trophies, and a hard reset. At Villa, he was pure freedom. At City, he learned control and reached the top. Then came the dip. Injuries, form, and the feeling that the magic had slipped. Now he stands at a crossroads in blue with a fan base that lives for fight and moments. This next stretch decides how we remember him. If he finds the edge, quicker decisions, braver final balls, real end product, he writes a comeback that shuts everyone up. If not, the label sticks. Brilliant, but not built to stay at the top. That's the tension that keeps this story alive. So what do you think? Is Grealish about to flip the script at Everton, or are we watching the end of a superstar era? Leave your estimate at the comment below, support the channel by subscribing and turning on notifications for our next tactical report, and thank you for watching.